Hello, good people. This is your goat Minyari coming to you from the fantastic world of Chimeraland. Today I am going to be talking to you about a very important feature that you will soon become super familiar with, and that is the Chimeraland map. I'm going to hit display here to bring up my user interface, and then to open your map you're going to hit the gray button in the top left hand corner, and voila, this is what I see when I open my map. What you see is going to be very different. When you first start the game, the map is covered in the fog of war, and only the zone that you are currently standing in will be visible to you. And you will likely be seeing a lot of these yellow question marks because these are features that you have yet to be discovered. And usually they're one of these other icons that I will be discussing on the map. The most important thing that you want to do as a new player is look for these guys, these Easter Island looking statues. When they are not activated, they're going to be a paler shade of yellow, much like my icon that is flashing here. They're going to be pale like that. So those are the unexplored ones. The ones that you have explored are this golden color. There are 23 of these pillars on Eastmount, and I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that there's probably 23 on Westmount and Southmount, and I'm not quite sure how many are on Central Mount, but I'm sure much fewer there. The importance of these pillars when you unlock them is that they allow you to teleport from anywhere on the map. If you go to a pillar, as you see here, I can teleport to the different pillars. So that should be one of your first objectives in the game, is to find these pillars and activate them. When you run up to it, a menu will appear on your screen, and you just click the little activate button and move on to the next one. The next important feature to discuss is these little scenic cairns, I guess. There are many of them, and if you click on the small button on the top right hand corner and you go to World Info, and then under Search, Scenic Spots, and as you see there's 26 pages of different scenic spots for a total of 402 presently in the game. They can be on land, they can be on any of the 4 continents, they can be up in the in space, or they can be under in the ocean, out in the sea. And for each one that you unlock, you get 200 calories and then some random attribute. So like that one's hit points, you get 10 hit points. I think the ones on the first page, you get defense +2. A lot of the ones that I've already done have been giving me hit points. So I think hit points is probably the most common reward that you get. And I'm not sure if there's anything else like attack or resilience or anything like that. But so obviously it's a very easy task to accomplish, and if you just, as you're exploring the map, seek out these little scenic spots and get your calories and your attributes. The next thing I'll talk about are the totems. These are this is part of your daily play. It gives you experience, it gives you currency, and items. So you do want to do your totems daily, at least 1 or 2 to meet the objectives for the quests that you get every day. Like over here, your quest: 2 totem trial elites for your clan, 10 totem trial mobs. So what that's asking for is for you to go to these different totems and activate them and fight the mobs. The important thing that you need to know here is, like, there's the ones with the 2 swords are your battle totems, and the ones with the animal heads are your hunting totems. Sometimes completing the different totem trials don't, you have to do one of each, or a combination, in order to meet your objectives. And I haven't really quite figured out what the rhyme or reasoning is behind it. Now, the other thing I want you to notice is, like, this guy here has a little blue dot. He did have a little blue dot. And that is the indication that it is an advanced battle totem. Alright. There's much fewer of the advanced hunting totems. There's not that many around, although I do see 2 on my screen now. 3, actually. So it's random how they spawn. Some days there's not that many, and apparently some days there are. So if you see the 2 swords with the blue dot under it, like right here, that is an advanced hunting totem. Another feature that stands out are these cocoon-looking things. These are the Zenith rockets. And what you do is you go to the Zenith rocket and you input materials, which I know it's phosphorus, and I don't remember what the other one is. I think it might be wood. And you have to repair it a certain number of times. And you also need to have fuel in your inventory, which you make in your cultivator, I do believe. And then you go up into space, and I think you get like 2,600 XP for every voyage you make. I haven't done this, actually. It's one of the things that I have not experienced. But I believe it's just like you go up into space and then the rocket falls apart, and then you kind of free fall back down to Earth. Or if you have a grappling hook, you can use that to maneuver yourself to a star to land on, which if we look up in the sky you can see the different stars. And you can also land on those little blue asteroids. So you just have to use your grappling hook to move you around into space to land, and then you can switch to a flying mount and then explore freely up in the sky. This icon here is my home, so that's a good thing to know. This icon here is for red gold. There's a red gold mine right around the corner, which I did want to show you. At the end of this video I will. But the red gold mine is basically it's protected by NPCs, and if you're new, they're probably going to kill you, so approach with caution. But it's basically like a super node. There's many mining nodes all in one huge stack, and if you're sneaky, you can approach from the rear and do a bunch of mining without the NPCs ever even knowing you're there, and then once they find you, either fight them or run away. These icons here are for the noble giant beasts. This is a 2-star beast. There are other beasts that are more deadly that have bigger icons and 3 stars. So basically, the more blue diamonds that you see there, the stronger they are. These little icons here are the secret training portals. As a new player, you will get a bunch of these in your bag, and you do them, I think, twice a day, and every time you use one it disappears, so eventually you're going to run out, and you will have to go find these icons on the map to do your secret portal training. This icon here is for the golden sands. You use an item in your bag, basically a panning, gold pan thing, and you go to the sandbar, the golden sands, and you can mine for golden sand and shells, clay, and some kind of threads. And I tested the green pan out yesterday. It gives me 5 minutes. It lasts for 5 minutes, and it gives me about 10 golden sands, about 20 pattern shells, and about 5 clay per 5 minutes of use. And it's one of those things where you can click it and then just go kind of do something else for a little bit. Like go wash your dishes or do a bio break. Now over here, in this zone, we have several icons here. This icon, the little wheel, is the bus station. And it doesn't say that, but if I slide down here it will. Or maybe it won't. It says station. So when you go to these stations, you can pay a very small fee of calories, like 100 calories, and it will take you to other stations. And I'm not 100% sure that you actually have to visit each one in order to get access. I think you just need to go to this one, and then it will give you the option to go to this one. And then once you get to this one, it'll give you the option to go to the next closest one, which I think is way over here. So those are the bus stations, and those help you navigate the continent more easily. This little icon here, which is kind of hidden under this red box right there, that is telling me there's a humanoid village there. The Kunzi village happens to be insect, big praying mantis statue. This is where you go to get like your daily quests. You can go to the dance ball and do the dance parties here. And you can also speak with the ranger and get the daily ranger quest that has you take pictures of different items. The next thing that we need to talk about is down here. This is a harbor, and this is where you go if you want to visit the other continents. Now, I'm going to take a little side loop here, and we're going to talk about this map on the left. This is a map of the entire realm, and you see that it is broken into 4 different continents: West Mount, East Mount, South Mount, and Central Mount. And underneath each one of them, it also it names the different factions. So you've got Berry, Nine Lee, and Fiery Hills. I am a member of the Fiery Hills faction. And the Central Mount is factionless. That is the PvP zone. So if you're looking for a rumble, then head on over to Central Mount and get your PvP on. Now, a really neat feature, convenient, that this has is, you see the little white rectangle? That is what I'm seeing on my overall screen, right? I can also move it. If I tap on the rectangle, I can move it anywhere on the map and see what's going on. So you see, I've explored most of Westmount actually, and I haven't explored this little area here that's darkened. So as I fly over it, it will become light. But now I'm easily over here. And if I look over an Eastmount side, I see the yellow dot, and I can go back there to this area. That's my home, I'm guessing. Alright, so we've talked about the totems, we've talked about the scenic route. We have not talked about the tree icons, which are not super exciting, but they are good to know. There's several different kinds of trees that drop different specialty items. So like the red apricot trees drop special leaves that you use for crafting. So looking at the trees, if you're looking for a specific tree for something, then just scan over the trees, and that they tell you what you're looking at. So we talked about that. If you wish to change factions, you're going to have to look for the Federal Bureau, and that building. This here is the World's End. This is where you go if you want to change your race. There's an NPC there where you can change your race, but honestly, you can do it right in your home from the dressing table, I believe. So there's no need to do it, but there is a virtual physical location to do that. Here's a big beast here, like I was talking. This is an illustrious giant beast versus the noble giant beasts here. So if you're looking for a bigger challenge, you have a bigger party, you want to try and take down the illustrious beast, that's what you look for. There is the mermaid fishing spot. If I can, there we go, it's right here. This is where you go if you want to hunt, fish for mermaids to put into your tank. You raise the mermaids up and they become attendants. Some are better than others, and just play around with it. There's a lot of different options that you have there. This icon here is for a Deo beast, and that's one of those things. I haven't even seen one of these yet, but I do know that would require a very like a large party to do. So more advanced guild, stronger guild. Some of these places, like for instance World's End, if I can find it again, that you can teleport directly to the World's End once you've visited it. You can also, here is the federal, no, that's not it. That's the main city. You can also teleport directly to the Spirit Witch, which is indicated as a gray fox, and this is where she is on Eastmount. There is one on Westmount and Southmount, and I could not even begin to tell you where she is. But that is pretty much most of the icons. I know there's an icon for an odd statue, and there's an icon for the here's the icon for the Federal Bureau. This is where you go if you need to change factions. Cost 500 sage, and just go talk to somebody there, and you can switch from Eastmount to Westmount or Southmount or whatever. And then there's another one for the Golden Sails, which you can do racing, para-sailing racing, which is a little fun side activity. Oh, see, there was a federal building there. So that pretty much discusses all of the icons that you're going to find on the map. Now let's take a moment to talk about the UI here. Of course, in the top left-hand corner, you can see that it tells you where you are exactly. And on the bottom right-hand side, there's a slider. I can go down to 0 and all the way up to 100. So when you zoom out, it actually shows you the names of the different zones. And if you come down to about 75%, I believe, then that's when it's going to pop out the icons for you to better see. And then if you go in really close, it's kind of just a cute feature, but if you go really, really close, you can see yourself on the map. So I don't really know what the purpose of that is, but there you have it. So yeah, we've talked about the map, the grand map. I will say that the world is, think of it as kind of, well, it's round. We don't live on a flat planet, we live on a round planet, and on the map you cannot scroll through. But in the real world, or the virtual world, if you are on Eastmount, if you keep going east, you'll eventually end up on Westmount. So, and like vice versa, if you go up when you're at the top, if you keep going north, eventually you end up on Southmount. So it kind of rotates in like that. There's no hard breaks to stop you. Of course, you will have to deal with, you will get flagged, and if you break the laws, then you will swiftly receive justice, and you won't like it. So if you want to visit the other continents, go to the harbor, which is this little icon here, and pay for your pass, which I recommend the 1 hour pass. Now, in the bottom left-hand corner, we do have a filter. All of them are checked presently, and if you wanted to clean up your map, you can uncheck them as necessary. Like if you don't really need to see where all the darn trees are, you can just click it and they're gone. Or if you're looking for a specific tree, like if you want to go look for coconuts, for instance, then I would click on palm trees, and then now it's going to tell me where all the palm trees are, which I know are near the beaches. So another great use for this is animals. If you're looking for a specific animal to tame for, if you need to do an evolution and you have to find condors, or you just want to find condors for your free flight mount, click on the white condor, and I know that white condors are up north near the mountains, so I'm gonna, actually I could use this white rectangle button up here, and I'm gonna look up here, and sure enough there is a condor icon here. So use your filters, they're very helpful. And that's that. Now if we click on over here on the right hand side, this is actually one of the most useful, and I use it all the time. And basically it marks a location on the map and then gives you, here's the parasailing, the power surf. I can teleport. Notice that you can teleport there once you visited it. But let's say that let me get out of here and open the map up again, and say I want to go to the village that's down here, right? So I'm going to click on at the bottom right hand side where it says position. I'm going to click it. You're going to see that it changes to blue and it says cancel. And if you look on the map where the icon is, it has brackets around the location now. And when I close out the map, I see that if I head this way for 5 miles, I will end up at my destination. So that is one of the most useful features of the map. I highly recommend getting to know how to use it. And that pretty much covers it. I did want to quickly show you the scenic markers, and also I mentioned the red gold, and then I'll be done. But if you look up in the map, there it is up there. If you look at your compass at the top of the center of the screen, it points you out where to go. But when you're doing the scenic route, to get the extra defense and hit points, etc., you are going to look for these items on your map, and then when you get to it, click look, and it takes you to a cutscene, and you can get a lovely panoramic view. Now look on the bottom right, it says share. First daily share, you get 30 sage. So if you click that button and take a picture, you can share it to Facebook if you so desire, and you will get a reward in the game. And then the last thing that I wanted to do was give you guys a little peek at the red gold. So what I'm going to do is mark it, which it's very close to me. I'm going to put a marker on it, and I'm going to hop on my mount. And set off, and it's right there. So basically that entire thing is a mining node, and if I go on the other side, I betcha is where the miners are. Yeah, they're down there. You can see the little red eyeballs. But if I come up here, and there's one over there too, so if I come right here, for instance, I can mine without getting attacked to my heart's content. And I would recommend that you start up top and work your way down. And that's a lot of mining experience right there. So that pretty much covers my map module for today. And thank you for joining me. If you find this video to be helpful and informative, then please subscribe and like, and tell your friends and family all about this amazing game, Chimeraland. Hope you all have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.